Well, that bootleg's going under the name of, Nothing Miss Jackson, I think, by, Meats and Poultry. So there you go.
I do love these bootleg things, because they're so pointless, but they're so enjoyable.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's fun to do. Yeah,
exactly.
They're
really good
they're
fun.
great. But, not as much fun as Wide Van Carl.
Wide Van Carl, absolutely. Do you want to explain the premise?
Well, we take the Sun asked someone else and asked Carl. It's simple as that.
That's
The
it.
Sun have just taken a normal person, we flipped it. We're gonna ask Carl the same questions about the week's news.
Yeah, just basically your opinions, Carl, as ever. What do you make of, well, obviously the big news, David Beckham's broken foot? Is this a big concern for you?
No, I mean, it's sad, you know, it's sadder for him more than anyone, because, you know, to like, be in the World Cup is like the main thing for him, isn't it?
Yeah.
But he's still a young lad, and, I don't think he'll give up. I reckon he'll still turn up. He'll be alright, and, yeah, good luck to the lad. You know I like David, I'm not gonna slag him off.
Wise words.
He says that like he knows him, like he's popping round for drinks later.
Yeah, like we tried to stitch you up. Go on.
But, obviously yesterday, was it yesterday, I think maybe Thursday, the Sun printed a big picture of, David's, foot, and encouraged everyone to touch it at midday, because hoping that this would somehow, if we all thought and prayed together, somehow that would help his foot heal. Do you believe in that?
No.
Have you any belief in that?
No, you're going down the old, like, Geller route, aren't you?
Sure.
And it's stupid.
Yeah.
I'm sure, I mean, it's nice effort and everything, it sort of cheers everyone up.
Hold on, you believe in ghosts and warlocks and licking toads. Why is that any more stupid than all those things?
It's not gonna work, is it?
Alright.
Fine.
It's rubbish.
Okay.
Okay, what about this then? There's, apparently now available £1.5 million apartments available on an exclusive ship, which sails around the world.
Yeah, it's like,
What do you make of that?
it's a huge thing, and you live on it, and it's, I mean, in theory.
How big is it?
It's mental.
Do you know
It's like
huge
a
luxury
town
liner.
centre.
Do you know how, like, people said that the Titanic was the biggest ship? Was that only then? They've got
Yes.
bigger ones now, haven't they?
Yeah.
A lot bigger.
Oil tankers are much bigger, and, yeah.
No, but actual
Liners are big. Yeah, it was the biggest then, yeah.
Because my mum told me that there was one that was that big that it had like rough areas on it.
Oh, God!
Don't go starboard.
Oh, God!
No, but do you know what I mean?
Right.
It was like
we're thinking of moving. We're seeing the captain. We're thinking of moving to a nicer area. Oh,
Yeah. I've heard they're very rough in aft.
Oh, God! Oh, that's
They steal your
fantastic.
tyres.
A ship's so big that was rough areas. Oh.
how big is this one that you're talking about?
Well, I don't know, it doesn't give me the specifications here, but
They're huge. They're huge. In theory, I mean, it's that thing with it's obviously marketing, but they're gonna solve the overpopulation crisis, where soon we'll all just be floating around the sea.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I can see that, because I mean, think about it, right? I've been talking to Ricky about it. I was hoping to buy somewhere in London, but there is no way in this world that I can afford it, right? And you look at all the wasted space, like with the Thames. All it's doing is like collecting crisp packets and stuff and Coke cans, and people have to clean it up. Whereas if you got a load of boats on there,
yeah.
problem solved.
Yeah. Would you live on a
problem
boat?
solved.
What's his name did it, didn't he? What's that programme? Was it Bergerac?
Noah. Oh, Bergerac?
There was one where he lived on a boat. I think it's quite.
That was
Nine or
Shoestring.
something? Yeah, I'd give it a go anyway.
No,
I'd like to see you, living in the air, maybe in a giant hot air balloon.
Yeah, alright. But, no, the boat thing, because it is gonna get bad as well, isn't it? They're saying that the water's melting or whatever.
the water's melting,
The ice is melting.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be more water and less land, so in
Yeah.
the future, it's probably gonna be the way we're gonna be living, isn't it?
Have you seen that film Waterworld?
Nah, I don't fancy it.
Because
Is that what happens?
that sort of predicts that, yeah.
What, are they saying that the ice thing
Exactly,
melt?
yeah.
But at the same time, I was thinking about this a couple of weeks ago. If you get, I mean, I think I read that, like, a big chunk of ice, fell off one of the ice, what do you call them?
Caps.
Ice caps. Something like that. I think they said it's the size of the Empire State Building or something.
Right.
It snapped off and went into the water, and it's melted. And they're saying, oh, it's bad news, you know, that something that size is melting. But the way I look at it, if something that size falls into the water, it's like a big ice cube, and it's gonna freeze it up again. You with me?
Not really, Carl.
Go on.
Right, you get a giant ice cube, the size of the Empire State Building, stick it in the water, it's gonna make, it's gonna stick back on again, isn't it?
Well, no, only if it freezes up again.
Yeah, well, it will freeze up. The water's going to get cold again because you've just put a giant ice cube in the water.
So when you put an ice cube in a drink, the drink doesn't freeze, does it?
No,
the ice melts.
If you put one the size of an Empire State Building in your glass of Jack Daniels, it's going to make it freezing.
It's not going in a glass of Jack Daniels, it's going in the ocean.
I know, but I'm using my fables. Imagine the world.
Use your brain instead.
Imagine the world, imagine the sea, like the Arctic or whatever, as a glass of Jack Daniels.
Okay.
A big ice cube falls into it. It freezes, it melts back on again. So we're alright, I don't know why everyone's worrying.
God, thank God for that, I was getting panicked.
Oh, fine.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, that will happen.
Should we play some more music and then come back to White
this is better than ever.
This is dynamite this week.
I'm in here on XFM 104.9, we're doing White Van Karl. Got another one there?
Well, it's just your thoughts really on the Queen Mum's very British send-off that she was given this week.
Yeah.
What do you make of all those people queuing up to see her? Did you think that was incredible?
Right. Well, we said last week, you know, there was I don't quite understand why there was so many people there, who were, like, getting really upset. Do you know what I mean? Really upset. Crying and stuff, and, you know, you can lose someone who's, like, related to you, and you don't cry like that. You sort of sit there and you think back to what you did with them and stuff, and then that's it. But, the queue thing, wasn't it like miles long and stuff?
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Right, I was sat watching this with Susan.
12 hours queuing.
Yeah.
It never got to 12 hours.
It did, but that was the estimated time.
No,
but how long is a queue when they're just, like, you know, walking along? Think how far you can sort of, like, you know, stagger in 12 hours.
Incredible.
It's been ridiculous.
Yeah. But, again, you know, if they want to do that, it's their time and that, isn't it? And it was at the weekend, so they could have, it's not as if they got out of work to do it. No. You know what I mean? They used their own time, so good on them. But I thought, right, what they could have done, remember when I studied Che Guevara?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? And don't be offended by this, it was just an idea, because they did it with Che Guevara. Remember when they cut him up?
Yes, they cut him up, yeah.
What was the reason for cutting him up?
Well, they cut up Che in order to try and, you told us that they were going to send bits of his body to Fidel Castro and various other people, wasn't that right?
As a warning, wasn't it, though, to all the people, like, one to...
Yeah, my understanding was that they cut him up in order to, so they could bury him in different places, so that there'd be one shrine, there'd be not one place that you could go to in order to
well, a little bit like that, a little bit like that. I've, like,
I can vaguely see where this is going.
6 queues, and it's like, number 1, you can, you know, go and pay respect to her head, or whatever.
Oh, God.
No, but I just was thinking the way of speeding it up. I'm not having a go, I'm not, because they haven't done it, so it doesn't matter. But they did it with Che Guevara.
Yeah.
Everybody would have felt like they've got close to her, and it would have speeded it up.
No, I mean, but I can understand.
Can I just say that genuinely, Karl is not being disrespectful here. This is his best idea to cut down the queues. So don't phone in. He's not suggesting we should have done this. He genuinely is. Well, but I mean, he's not doing it to be nasty or wacky or you know. He thinks this is a good idea. So
can I just try to
do with Che Guevara, who was like a powerful man who did a lot for the world and what have you.
Yeah.
And
are you aware that I feel slightly responsible for this, because have you heard of the quote, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Steve, next one?
No, just a very quick question. I can understand those that have queued for 12 hours to see the head. I'd be a little bit annoyed if I got there to find a toe.
I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you what they could do without chopping her up. They could put about 9 queues, each could see each hip she had.
That's true enough.
Because she'd have about 9 of them, so it'd just be, if you want to see the whole body, it's a 12-hour queue. If you just want to see a couple of the hips.
Here's another suggestion for you, I've just thought, right?
What?
Instead of everyone queuing to see her, why not put her on a trolley and wheel her past everyone else?
Running. So
you could have some students on Rag Week, and they combine it, like when they're always pushing a bed. You know, they could just run it along the queue.
No,
that'd be fantastic.
That'd be disrespectful.
Right, as opposed to the chopping up.
So,
sure.
Right.
But just an idea.
Just I apologise now, if anyone's offended.
Anyone offended, I'm sorry, but...
Yeah. Okay, finally, this is more frothy. Liz Hurley lying low, apparently, at Elton John's house to try and avoid the press now that she's had a child.
That's a good place to go to avoid the press.
Exactly.
Yeah, Elton John's house,
Everyone seems to be friends with Elton John, don't they? Every celebrity's
when
friends
did he pop into Elton John's house? What, is he running some sort of...
Well, it was like when Robbie Williams was a drunkard and a drug addict, he went to Elton John's.
Yeah, and who's the other fellow that went there as well? Was someone to recuperate and shoulder to cry on. Is he giving out false passports?
But I don't know if people have seen his history. He's not the man of, you know, I mean, I know he's cleaned himself up now, but, you know, maybe that's it. Maybe he's got this kind of insight into, how to deal with celebrity.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it's just genuine mates with him. I think he's just like a friendly bloke.
I think she's been doing too much lying low in the first place. That's part of the problem, isn't it?
High five, Carl.
That was a genuine joke from Carl there. And he's so proud of himself. Look at his little face.
Too much lying low.
Oh, that was my
but I
man,
agree
Carl.
with you. Why can't she just go around to her mum and dad's or something rather than Elton John where everyone's looking? Yeah.
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 That's the point, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that was good, yeah.
Very good, yeah. Right, what music we got? We got,
Bit of Flaming Lips.
Flaming Lips, excellent. There's the classic Race for the Prize. Should have been a big hit, never was, sadly. The Flaming Lips and Race for the Prize. Just playing that riff for everyone who emails us in. We get a lot of emails every week, but obviously don't really respond to them because we're very lazy people, but we obviously appreciate it. And I play that particularly for Claire, who's emailed in saying her friend Sarah Prosser would like some Beatles. We're not going to play the Beatles this week, but Sarah apparently loves us more than words can express.
More than Carl could express.
Absolutely.
I'm going to stop you there, Pete. You don't want an advert.
What turns you on, creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Learning.
That's a nice answer.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Learning
Will you
stuff.
say that?
Yeah, but everything you teach me, I take it in. It's just that sometimes I go, I don't get it. But that still counts as far as I'm concerned.
Well, no, it doesn't. Learning is, knowledge is, there must be some sort of retention. You can't say I've got a great memory for a second. You can't say that. It has to stay there. And then knowledge has to be, you know, applied. You can't just have all this knowledge that isn't applicable because it's useless. I mean, trivia is useless to a large extent. It's not real knowledge because it doesn't really help you in, practically.
No, but there's a lot of that going on. You're always reading stuff that you go, I've just read that. It's got me thinking for a minute. It's not going to help me in any way, but it gets a reaction, doesn't it?
Well, that's good, yeah, that's what art does, and yeah, sometimes education's good for its sake, if it really does inflame, but
then sometimes, like I've said before, you can know too much where it gets you down.
Go on.
I just was reading something about an octopus. That's like a killer octopus. And it annoyed me that this was knocking about now. Because I didn't know, I thought they were quite friendly. Whenever you see them in cartoons and that, they're always happy, aren't they? And then suddenly, like, they've sort of brought the whole sort of creature down. Do you know what I mean?
No, what do you mean?
Well, just you know, when you see them in films, they're running about and that, and everybody likes an octopus. But this one that's on it was your fault really, because you told me about that frog that's going about killing people.
No, I didn't say that.
So I looked it up on the internet at like other creatures and stuff. And there's some octopus that's in the sea, and what it does, you don't even have to like threaten it. It just spits in the water, and if that stuff gets on you, does you in.
Again,
So in a way, it's good knowledge because, I mean, I don't go in the sea anyway because it's full of stuff like that. But that's just reassured me that I'm doing the right thing. If they're knocking about, just gozzing everywhere, you don't even have to be near one. You don't even know if it's been spitting and stuff. It can kill you. It just seems unfair. I haven't harmed it. I haven't gone near it. Why is it getting annoyed with me? Doesn't seem right. So that's where a knowledge has not helped that octopus out. Because now, when you eat them, I just think, yeah, have another one. Do you know what I mean? Get rid of them.
another conversation with himself. Another conversation with himself.
What is your favourite curse word?
I don't think I do anything like that. I think people can tell by my face when I'm like fed up.
Well, they know you're fed up because you're always whinging.
I don't think I've got one. Knobhead. That sums everything up, and I think it's...
But you wouldn't call your nan a knobhead, would you? What would you call a nan?
But she doesn't do anything to annoy me that much.
But if she did, what would you say? If she really annoyed you?
Well, knobhead's alright, isn't it? Because she sort of gets it. It's one of them things that everybody understands, but it's not too offensive.
Right.
What a knobhead.
Alright, you're getting into this, aren't you?
So that sums it up, but I don't really... Do you need one of them? What's that doing for you? It's better to think, innit? Like, okay, I've just slagged off that octopus, but at no point was a effing and jeffing about it. After, you know how annoyed I am with it. I don't have to start swearing about it, and that's...
What would you do, though, if you were swimming, right? It was a nice little thing, you're on holiday, right? And there's this octopus there, and you're going around, right? And you just see it start spitting at you, poison. What would you say to it?
Well, it's too late then, innit? And I'd kick it. And I'd say, you knobhead. I would, but what's the point? What's the point in getting annoyed now? Because it's done its stuff, hasn't it?
He's kicking and calling it knobhead under the water. What is this octopus thinking? Oh God! Oh, okay, you fucking eight-legged shit.
I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered. I don't know what you're saying.
Fucking cunt of a mollusk.
I'll just spit at you again. It's not bothered.
You slimy little fucking boneless wanker.
This is why the face.
Are you
is
still
good.
talking to the octopus? It's a slightly truncated show, isn't it, today, Carl? We've got
I don't
monkeys,
like
I would
it.
trust.
I don't like change, and that's what's happened. I'm not.
You don't, do you? You're like Rain Man.
Yeah.
He really is like Rain Man. Anything change, it's got to get in a little routine. You can't.
No, I don't like to. I'm not like Suzanne's mum and dad and what have you, where routine cannot change no matter what.
Like what?
Well, we've talked about it where, you know, if it's a Tuesday, I'm having sausage, egg and chips no matter where I am. That's what they're like.
Right.
That's what they'll remember, actually. When I'm saying about stuff about Live 8 and all that, you know, people will remember. If people said to a dad, you know, you remember Live 8? Okay, what day was it on? Tuesday, when I had sausage, egg and chips. Nothing changes. But the thing is, today, normally we have a bit of a, you know, I know what we're doing where and all that, and it's all sort of messed up.
We don't usually know what we're doing where. We say, what should we do next?
No,
You go,
but I know, like, Rockbusters has been done early.
Right.
So that's normally done at
That's
about...
really
about 5
throwing you. I
minutes.
say, uh-oh.
I just don't... I don't like all this change and that. It's messing about, innit?
Rain Man.
If you get... I mean, I think I read that, like, a big chunk of ice fell off one of the ice... what do you call them?
Caps.
Ice caps. Something like... I think they said it's the size of the Empire State Building or something.
Right.
It snapped off and went into the water, and it's melted. And they said, oh, it's bad news, you know, that something that size is melting. But the way I look at it, if something that size falls into the water, it's like a big ice cube, and it's gonna freeze it up again. You with me?
Not really, Carl.
Go on.
Right, you get a giant ice cube,
Yeah.
the size of the Empire State Building,
Yeah.
stick it in the water,
Yeah.
it's gonna make, it's gonna stick back on again, isn't it?
Well,
Maybe it's
no,
gonna stick back
only
on
if it
again.
freezes up again.
Yeah, well,
do
it
you
will
mean it's
freeze up, the
well, it
water's gonna
won't,
get
but-
cold again, because you've just put a giant ice cube in the water.
So when you put an ice cube in a drink, the drink doesn't freeze, does it?
No,
the
it's
ice
not like-
melts.
if you put one the size of an Empire State Building in your glass of Jack Daniels, it's gonna make it freezing.
It's not going in a glass of Jack Daniels, it's going in the ocean.
I know, but you see, I'm using my fables. Imagine a world.
Use your brain instead.
Sayings and that. Stitching time saves 9. Don't. You know, I'm never going to use that. I don't think anyway.
Okay.
Suzanne.
You're never going to understand it fully, are you?
Suzanne repairs me stuff anyway. So it doesn't really matter. But what about the one? About the one in greenhouses and that?
People who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
Yeah.
What?
Does that confuse you? You've never understood that one?
No, that's a lot clearer, isn't it? It's sort of saying, don't be chucking stuff about if you're surrounded by glass and what have you.
Yeah, but don't forget, it's an analogy, it's a metaphor, it's not to be taken literally. It's not really just talking to people who live in glass houses. It's saying,
Hang on, sorry, before you say that, Rick, I'm intrigued to know if he's fully got to grips with this. Just
Okay.
give us your explanation again of what you'd take that to mean.
Well, just don't be chucking stuff about. Really.
so, well, if that was it, they just say that.
No, but that saying's been around a lot longer than we think. That's when people probably did live in basic glass houses and stuff.
No, whoa,
what they mean now-
Who has ever lived in a glass house?
So cavemen went from rock to a nice crystal structure, did they? What are you talking about? When did people live in glass
well, no,
houses?
what they mean now, when that saying's used now, they mean sort of, you know, plasma tellies, ornaments.
No, they don't.
They're saying don't chuck stuff about because you'll
no,
break it.
No, it's not about damaging your own property.
They don't mean you're inside the glass house throwing rocks inside your own glass
It's
house.
a metaphor. It means don't be having a go at people if you yourself have got more to lose. Do you know what I mean? It means it could be anything. Don't start a war where you could come off bad as well. It's about how fragile your situation is. If you live in a glass house, metaphorically, don't throw stones at someone else, because when he throws it back at you, your house is more easily damaged than his. Again, metaphorically.
It doesn't mean that if you're living in a glass house or in a house with other precious objects, you don't, in your own home, throw bricks about. Because that would be a very specific audience that I was trying to reach, that phrase. I mean, let's be honest, what kind of a mental
case? Do you know
case?
what? I think we've got the crux to this, right? I think I can answer. Right. Carl, what is an analogy?
It's sort of like a little story told quickly. Isn't it?
Alright, here we are then. Oh, Scorpio Rising, Death in Vegas, on XFM 104.9, about 1:05 Saturday. Here we are again then. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. I can't believe our luck. Oh, alright, Carl?
Alright.
Yeah, so what are we doing today then? Producer.
Right, well,
Oh, sorry, I always laugh instinctively when I hear Carl's name and that word.
Yeah.
right, well, why is that? Because it is, I had to come up with some new features again for this new year.
Okay. I'm excited.
What have you come up with?
Oh.
We are the backbone of this show, Carl.
Yeah, we'll tell you, we've come up with some pretty, what's yours first?
Right.
Go on.
Right, well, Rockbusters.
That's old, that's not a new feature.
Yeah, but we'll keep it.
Right.
So you're just keeping an old feature?
Okay, no, it's an old favourite. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are going, phew, I was worried that he'd lose Rockbusters.
Rick, I just come up with a new idea. Why don't we just play some records that we like? There's a new idea for 2003.
Yeah. Oh, you know what we can't, Steve? Because the library's out of order.
Oh yeah, the record label, we can't get in there, we're not allowed to get in there.
We had to scrounge something from Capital Gold.
So anyway, right,
Go on.
so we got Rockbusters.
What are they doing with the library? Are they getting some records in that we want to play? Is that their new idea? I know, let's get some records in
Yeah,
that we
they're
want to play.
thinning out the Gina G.
Yeah. Falling on Blondes, goodbye. Give that to Foxy. Go on, sorry, Carl.
We'll do, we started Do We Need 'Em in 2002.
Do we need them?
Do we need them? Yeah.
We'll continue that.
Got a new one, haven't
Explain that later.
Yeah.
Right.
you? Yeah.
And then the new stuff comes in.
Ooh.
Right. As always, I like to sort of get words and tweak 'em and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I was thinking of either doing something with, there's a lot of weird rituals, isn't there?
A lot
Right.
of weird rituals.
Yeah, there's weird stuff going on around the world.
There is, yeah.
And I was going to tweak that to rituals.
Okay. Right.
Again, starting with the title, the pun first, then working out what it is.
Well, I found some weird stuff.
Oh right, so it's specifically
Just stuff
what?
that goes on, like,
rituals.
there was,
Most of the weird stuff I've heard about happened to you in Manchester in your early years.
well, in India, apparently it's good to have a flat head. So the,
Again, just flirting, just bordering on the racist, but never really gets there. Always.
Well,
go on.
because there's no intent.
There's no hate. There's no hate. It's just clumsy. It's
just
stupidity. Yeah.
exactly.
Go on. What
Sorry,
do you
so
mean?
what do you mean? It's good to have a flat
What
head.
do you mean? It's good to have a flat head in India?
we'll talk about it later.
Brilliant.
That's rituals. So
You've hooked a few people. You've hooked a few in. Go on.
Alright, so we'll have that later.
So
So,
it's
hold on.
essentially like Educating Ricky, only it's specifically about rituals. Is that strictly speaking what it is? Okay.
Oh, so, but then again, you could say radio is all the same because it's people talking.
Okay, Carl, brilliant. A brilliant
no,
comeback.
Yeah,
So-
brilliant comeback. Not all talking nonsense though.
Well,
So that's where we're different. Go on.
also, right, I like teaching you stuff.
Yeah. And you've done well.
So what I'm thinking is, rather than just touching on a topic, sort of giving you a few bits of information on one
See,
topic.
this is what I'd like to do, because the last thing you taught me, I remember, was there was a blind girl, she hit her head and she could see, and that's all I got.
Yeah.
So if you could go into that a little bit more, that would have been educating me.
Well, today we're featuring stuff on World War 1 and 2, right?
Oh.
So that's that little title for all this little thing is, what do you think of that then?
What do you think of that then?
Play a record.
So that's
Rick,
that.
can I have just sort of a joke?
Go on.
What's the similarity between Lord of the Rings and this show? They're both rubbish.
Watch that man, David Bowie, off of That Insane, my favourite David Bowie album. What's yours, Carl?
Yeah, that That one's good.
Brilliant. So, right, we've got, Rockbusters coming up. Do you want to say what we've got to give away there,
Not
Steve?
really, Rick.
Is it really bad?
Well,
What's the film? What's the featured film?
the featured film's not bad, I have to say, actually. You've excelled yourself there. Again, it's just one of those things where I think, what kind of XFM listener would want this particular goodie bag? I know before Christmas, Carl, you explained that the
Look
reason
at
we were
Carl's
giving away...
face, he's disgusted, because he just said, I do a lot of work to get these prizes, and I went, no you didn't, I saw you, he went over to a drawer and went, I'll give that one, and that one. That's what work you put in. You nicked some, there's about 12 Jerry Halliwell videos, one of which we're giving away. It's
Oh,
sort of
Rick,
like,
you've given it away!
oh no!
Yeah, if you'd like Jerry Halliwell's Body Yoga DVD, then, you know, that's one of the treats you can win. But it does, like, if you remember before Christmas, he said that, he was giving away a kind of bumper pack of gifts that you might want to wrap up and give to
one
various
for
people.
Uncle, one for-
Uncle,
yeah.
one for Auntie. But obviously Christmas has passed, so I don't know really what your excuse is this time.
You eat a lot over Christmas, don't you? Get a bit fat.
Fair point.
Yeah.
So, Jerry Body Yoga is one of them. The recent, on DVD, the recent series of Wiedersehen Pet. Yeah. I think that reaction. Could you give me that reaction again?
Well,
Rick?
no, just
Just give me that reaction again.
no, yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. And actually, I have to say, this isn't bad at all. This is the very best of the Stone Roses CD.
Well, you can't knock
compilation,
that,
which,
you can't knock
in fact,
that.
I'll tell you what, we should play Elephant Stone at some point.
Yeah,
today, 'cause
right,
it's
yeah,
going
we'll
on.
have that, go on.
Madness, I think this is actually tunes from them and not from the musical, although it is tied into the
He went
musical.
to see that musical.
Really?
Yeah, on New Year's, you know what it's like on New Year's Day, there's nothing to do.
Sure.
So
I
you
took
go and see
Suzanne
some
out.
people doing Madness songs.
No, I took Suzanne out for a walk, right?
Yeah.
Went round, Covent Garden,
Right.
past the place where it was on.
The stage door was open, you snuck in.
Well, I said Madness are alright. And because when you think about it, Madness songs are quite sort of musical anyway, aren't they? So you can't
They're quite
do-
musical.
Do you know what I mean? They sort
He
of...
means they're
Oh,
like
I
a
see, right,
musical,
they're like a-
yeah.
like a musical.
Knees up Mother Brown.
I thought it was alright, enjoyed it.
Blur the musical would be good, wouldn't it?
Blur the musical would be excellent.
Yeah, little Cockney
so
Sparrow.
what, you bought tickets there and then and just went in? They're not selling, are they?
It's fairly quiet, because
Oh.
we only paid the lower price and we got upgraded for free.
Nice.
So...
You enjoyed it though, did you?
Yeah, I'd loved it.
And
So-
would anyone like to come on stage with us?
Yeah.
The little bald fella. Yeah, go on, I'll give it a go.
And what home are you from?
Where are you, what are you doing tomorrow? Well, I'm going, no, you're coming here tomorrow. Come here tomorrow.
Is it not doing well? That's a disappointment.
I don't know. I mean, it was New Year's Day, so maybe that's why it was quiet.
Okay, well, if anyone hasn't seen this or didn't receive it for
As Bono
Christmas,
said, all is quiet on New Year's Day, Carl.
also we've got to give away Minority Report by
I like that.
Steven
I enjoyed
Spielberg
that.
with Tom Cruise, which is on VHS.
Good Rip Roaring sort of film.
It's not
that.
bad. That's probably the best thing we're giving away. But as I say, we can always leave some out if you don't
I'm
want.
arresting you for the future murder of Sarah Marks.
Brilliant. That's the sort of excitement and drama you'll be getting in it.
It's not brand
Little
new.
taster there.
I got that off Paul Anderson. He said
Right.
here's something to watch over Christmas.
So you've actually watched this already?
Yeah.
All right.
I've rewound it.
That's probably added
No,
to
you
it, though,
have.
isn't it? It's touched by the great man himself,
Yeah.
Karl Pilkington.
And it's alright, I'd say. It's worth a watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to give us a quick film review?
Just give it a wipe down there, maybe some tripe on it.
Bit unrealistic.
Sure.
Bit unrealistic.
Yeah.
Genius.
A man who finds people who can see into the future.
Whereas our house, that really happened.
Yeah.
God.
Anyway,
Play record.
prizes giving away. What's the competition? It's Rockbusters.
We're doing Rockbusters.
We're still doing Rockbusters. Oh, well, look forward to that.
Do that in like 15
I
minutes.
need a bit of Coldplay first, I do, honestly.
Really? Oh, beautiful.
Coldplay, The Scientist, I think they wrote that about Carl.
Yes.
On XFM 104.9. Right, I'm Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington.
Can I just ask Carl how he got on over Christmas?
Oh.
Because the last time I spoke to him, you hadn't bought a present for your girlfriend. I have to say, I was on tenterhooks all Christmas.
Well, you changed it. After that show, I felt bad, even though I shouldn't have done, because...
Because you hadn't bought your girlfriend a
Yeah,
Christmas
but I
present.
said to you, I booked a table at a hotel in Covent Garden, had Christmas dinner there, which was nice, right? It's good food and everything.
Doesn't feel like enough to me.
Well, then I went out and treated some stuff, and then...
No. A couple of days before Christmas, he went, I took Suzanne to that hotel we're going to go to for Christmas dinner. We had tea and cakes. And I went, oh, you treated her? He went, no, she paid for it, but I was just showing her what it was going to be like. That was her extra treat. She paid for it. I love that.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Well, it was like 150 quid for a meal for two, which is pretty dear. So I'm not going to buy her cakes as well.
I love that! Alright, love, have anything you want. You pay for your own pudding, I'm not mental.
So you treated her to some other
Yeah,
stuff.
some bits and bobs.
What,
And then
so
yesterday,
she chose them and you paid for them?
What, the presents?
Yeah.
No,
Or you
no.
chose them and she paid for them, but, you know, it's the
No,
not the cans.
I got them on the way home that Saturday.
Well done.
And what did you
Passed them
buy?
shops. Well, just some bits.
Might be personal, Steve.
Well, I don't care.
Just some bits.
Yeah,
Just
but
bits and pieces.
leave out the personal bits. What bits?
Just little things. And then yesterday, right?
A monkey wrench and a new washer for the shower.
Yeah. Some recordable CDs that you need for your job.
Oh,
So,
dear.
now, when you gave those presents to her, did her face light up?
Right. I don't want to tell you what they were, right? But she wasn't that impressed.
You're going to tell us what they were now,
Tell us what they are.
You even know what they are. She told you on Christmas Day.
Hold on, wait a minute.
But it doesn't matter what they are.
It does matter what
No,
they are.
it doesn't. It doesn't
does, Carl. It's you, mate. Of
No,
course
it doesn't
matters.
matter.
Oh, God!
Have you just remembered?
Yeah!
Right, but don't. There's no need.
I've got to tell him, Carl. I really want your permission because I don't want to be a, you know, I know it's not, but we know it's not that embarrassing. It's really quite sweet.
Yeah, but in a way, right? The way I look at it is, right? Christmas, even when I was a little kid, right? It's not.
Please let me tell him, Carl.
Well, let me just tell you first, though.
Oh.
Let me tell you why I didn't go all out on the whole present front.
Alright. Justify yourself.
Right? First of all, I've covered it up since then anyway, right, with that present, because I bought some shoes yesterday, and she did say I'll give you the money for them, but when I get home I said it's alright. I said you can have them, right? So not only did I buy her some food on Christmas Day, I got her shoes. She's probably had a
And then you treat you like a horse.
Yeah.
It's not like, yeah, there you go, there's your shoes, there's your food, right, bed down, see you later.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
I
she's
have
done.
fed and clothed
Yeah,
her.
did you comb her hair?
She's done well this year, right? So the thing
She's
is,
done well this year. It's like you're a single parent living on a council estate with a smack problem.